So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this last workshop. Is everybody still awake? Great. So, actually, the final workshop will be divided into two parts. I will first talk about something about the Vaadin framework itself, and then later on, my colleague Manolo will talk about the Vaadin elements. So, let's first start about the Vaadin framework introduction. It's me again. It's a bit weird, like first I speak something specific about Vaadin in the morning and then talking about this introduction in the afternoon. But anyway, here we go. So I guess all of you have heard of Vaadin already. But does any one of you know what does Vaadin mean literally? Anyone? What? Okay, I give you some hint. First one is animal, and second one, take a look at my sticker. So yes, Vaadin is a Finnish word, which means like a reindeer. It's a female reindeer to be specific. So that's what does Vaadin mean literally. And the second one, let's take another quick quiz. Do you know how old is Vaadin? Like, to make it simple, I made there are only three options available. So 3 years, 7 years, or 16 years. 3 years, anybody? Nope. So 7 years? Okay. And 16 years? Okay, good. Actually, they are all correct. So it has been 3 years since Vaadin 7 released. And it has been 7 years since Vaadin, since it's renamed Vaadin. Before that, it's named IT Meal Toolkit, which is a weird name, probably because Vaadin, the headquarters of Vaadin is in a building which named Old Mill. I don't know, just a guess. And it has been already 16 years since the company was born. So it's kind of awesome, isn't it? And time flies. Like 16 years ago, I was still a teenager in the middle school, I think. So how does a typical Vaadin application look like? I think we've seen this before. I wanted to give you a more detailed intro to this demo application, but seems this internet doesn't work, so we will skip about that. But just to let you know, it's a responsive and beautiful demo application. What?
I think it's in the full screen over there or not? No? Let me. No? I don't know. Yeah, it's Windows. No. Yeah, maybe you can break the. Let me. It was Keynote?
Yeah, okay, great. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry about the demo effect. I didn't prepare any live coding session, but still there are demo effects. So, and after you have seen Vaadin, another question to be answered is why would I choose Vaadin at all? There are probably different reasons to choose Vaadin, but for me it's mostly about developer productivity. With Vaadin, the developer will only need to write Java code and write only on the server side and without having to worry about the HTML or the client side at all. So now you see that curly brace and that point braces. Now probably you see why the Vaadin logo has that two braces there. It's quite brilliant, I think. And so how does the server-side UI work, actually? Yeah, the code is quite similar to every one of you, I think. First, you create some text field and then a button, then add them to a layout, and that's all. And you can add some click listener to that button, which will respond to the click event. One thing to notice that you could use already Java 8 in Vaadin immediately after Java 8 was out. If you have to use that in GUID, you have to wait until GUID 2.8. I think that's also another benefit of using Vaadin. So with that code, now you have this simple UI. You have a text field and a button, and all the communication from client side to server side usually starts from the client side. So once you have input something into the text field and you click that great button, and the client side of Vaadin will send some message to the server side. For example, since the name is now Marcus and the button is clicked, now the server side is aware of this and it knows you need to notify the client side. So that it will just tell the client side add this notification. Then in the browser, the user would see that notification message. Everything here is kind of automated by Vaadin. You don't need to worry about that at all. Yeah, as I have shown this picture before earlier in the morning. So the client side and the client side to the server side communication is all automated by Vaadin. Yeah, you normally don't have to worry about it at all, unless if you want to work for Vaadin. And I'm not joking, and actually Vaadin is hiring, so if you are considering finding a job or want to contribute to some open source framework but still get paid, you could let me know. So another good thing about Vaadin is that it has a quite healthy community, I think. We have Vaadin runs this forum where the developers or the Vaadin users go there, ask different questions, and other users or some Vaadin expert will try to answer them there. And also Vaadin as a company quite, encourage our employees to actively involved in this community development. We have something called the Community Friday, which means that you could use 10% of your work time to help the community to develop. I think this is some concept that we borrowed from Google, but I really like it. It's really good. And also the other thing I have mentioned earlier as well is about this awesome Vaadin directory. There are currently, it's a bit outdated screenshot. Currently, there are more than 600 already add-ons. As you can see, there are UI components, data components, themes, tools, miscellaneous, all kinds of things. And by the way, as I mentioned already, most of them are actually free. And also, Vaadin has a official YouTube channel where currently I think we are quite active on the webinars, probably once a week, or maybe at least twice a week, if not once a week. So there are always quite good materials there. It's not only about Vaadin itself. Sometimes it's about integrate Vaadin with some other frameworks, like if you want to do some IoT, if you want to do some big data, if you want to integrate it with Spring, with Java EE, or with anything, you could find something there as well. So let's get our hands dirty. Typically, when you're talking about a tutorial or introduction, it's always, not always, but mostly begins with a hello world application. That's kind of cool. Usually it's quite easy to get started, but when you try to build a real application, you started to scratch your head and see, oh, how could I do that? With Vaadin, we have these different Maven archetypes, which you could simply go to vaadin.com/Maven, and you can see here we have archetype application, archetype multi-module, archetype application example, different kinds of things. And today I'm talking about this application example. I try to run it lively, but since the Wi-Fi doesn't work, but luckily I have run it already before, so I could show you. Where is it? Yes, and in here I first copy and oh sorry, it's gone. Copy paste that Maven archetype there, and run that Maven clean install, and I switch into the UI project. Then I would get this quite beautiful and simple application already, and no surprise, it's responsive, as you can see. Yeah, by the way, we have talked about responsive several times during the conference. How many of you think responsive is awesome? Yeah, but how many of you think responsive is kind of difficult to do, especially if you are not a CSS expert? Yeah, okay. Good. At least I think it's kind of difficult to do. But with this kind of Vaadin application template, you got it out of the box. Then you would just need to worry about your business application. And now after we log in, we could see this as, again, the dashboard-like application. On the left side, we have the navigation bar. And on the right side, we have this. This is Vaadin Grid, by the way, which is pretty awesome. And here we could do some CRUD operations like create a new product and exchange modify a product or something, and delete a product. Yeah. So, and also it's responsive here as well. Oh. Yeah, as you can see, it's quite good. So actually, that's almost about it. Any questions? Nope. I know, like most of you guys are kind of client-side developers. They are more interested in client-side and not very interested in this kind of server-side. So I won't bother you anymore, and I will give the mic to my colleague Manolo, which he will show you some awesome Vaadin elements. Yeah, Manolo.
Thank you.